Hi everyone, it's Jeff from Unscripted Radio. Thanks so much for checking out our YouTube channel. Here's a clip of Karen Ashley's first appearance on Unscripted Radio. Enjoy!
You know what? The crazy thing is my first acting job, I was in a couple commercials back home when I was in Texas. Like I did like a Southwest commercial and I did like another commercial. But my first acting job was Power Rangers, essentially, like the first big thing. I had just decided, like maybe a couple months before that I wanted to be an actress. And I went to this open call, and literally there were thousands of people. And I was like, I don't know about all this. Well, how long do we have to wait here? You know, it's the summertime. It's like Texas. It's hot. And I think the friend I was with was like, no, we got to stay. We just got to see it through. And so I did. And, 4 days later, my life was changed. I was living in L.A. and on the show.
And I remember, my brothers were so mad at you guys. Okay, I have to stick up for them now.
Everyone was initially. They were like, where is Walter? Where's Twee? Where are they,
Like, it was because my mother had gotten them, like, the Power Rangers Christmas thing, and it didn't even make sense because, like, there was, the pink, blue, and the green guy, and, like, the other three were off on some summit thing, and you guys were, like, in the viewing globe, and you were like, Merry Christmas, hi, and we're like, okay, but by the time they get on the show, he's already the white, like, and I just remember my brothers, like, flipping out, like, who are these people?
Yeah,
and then everybody
grew
to love you guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of it, is that we had such great fans that they accepted us, and I mean, the show was a hit, so it wasn't like they needed to accept us, they could have really... but luckily, when they cast us, they didn't cast anyone who was similar to the person they were replacing. So it was like, you got a whole new thing. And we got, people who would relate to me may not have related to, to Twee, or it was just whatever. I mean, it was just one of those great things that they didn't try to make me be her, or, it was just one of those good things that they knew better.
I mean, being like your first...
Tons of people were like, what the heck is this? The funny story though is,
what was the audition like? Like did you for the show? Like, was it a simple script read, or did they have you jumping off of stuff?
No, what the audition was like is like we literally walked into a room and there was it was like almost like an assembly line because there were so many people. And the first question they asked you were, are you over 18 or are you emancipated? And you were like, I was like, yeah. Like, I didn't even know what emancipated meant.
Sure, whatever you guys
Right, yeah. What I got to do to get on this show? But, it's funny. I didn't even know what the show was. I didn't even know what it was. A friend of mine had told me about it, and she said it's a kid's show. You have to either be a dancer, a gymnast, or a martial artist, and you could do it. And so I'd never seen the show. So then we get there, and you literally had 30 seconds, and there was, 3 lines that you had to say. And it was I don't even remember what it was, but it was I remember it was talking about shopping and being with my friends. And so you kind of had to deliver the line and, kind of do your thing. And then, the casting director was like, okay, so what are you going to do today? And I was like, I'm going to dance. And she goes, okay, dance. And I go, well, I brought music. And she goes, we don't have a radio. And I was just like, okay. And so it was hit it. And so I just had to break it down right then and there. No music, nothing. And I was just like, what the heck, Because I'd been on some auditions, and I thought, well, they'll have music, or I can play my music or something, And so I just busted out a couple moves. And then she looked at me, and she was like, can you come back in 3 hours? And I was like, yeah. And so I had to call back. And so then when the couple, the thousands were whittled down to 100. There's still a ton of people there. We were all in a room, and we had to wait for hours. And then I remember seeing Johnny, and I remember seeing Steve. We were all at the same audition. And they called us in, and this time she had a jam box. And so I got to put music on, and we did it again. It was for camera. We did it. They videotaped us, and then I got to dance. And so this time I put my music on, got to dance. And that was it. I walked out, and I thought, I just didn't think I would get it. I just was like, wow, that was crazy. You literally had 30 seconds. That's all you got to impress them. And I remember 2 days later, I got a phone call. It was at 7 in the morning. It was really early, and it was the casting director, and she goes, can you fly out tomorrow morning to meet the producers? And I was just like screaming. It was like, absolutely.
I cannot imagine. That's crazy. I could not imagine getting like a phone call at 7 a.m. or something and just be like, yeah, so how about you just fly out to L.A. and we want to chat? What?
Yeah.
Seriously? What?
Exactly. Right. And so
that's going to be an
I
amazing way to break into Hollywood.
Amazing, because the crazy thing was I had planned to move to LA and become an actress, and I was like, I'm just going to do it. And at the time, I just figured, well, I'll save money, I'll beg everyone around me to give me money, so to be able to instantly be there, And then when we had the call back with producers, it was I would say it was probably like 4 or 5 girls, and then there was like 10 guys because they were doing, and everyone was different, And they literally flew us in that morning. We all arrived. They took us to lunch, and then, they had us in like the worst hotel. Like, it was the funniest thing. And then we walked across the street and went into this office, and for like 3 hours, we literally were auditioning. Like, they took us in by ourselves. And then they took us in as a group, and they put me with Johnny and Steve, and we went and auditioned. And then they switched us around, put me and a couple other people together, and then we went in again. We kept having to do it, And literally, they sat us all in a room, and I thought this was horrible because they sat us all in a room. Then they walked in and go, okay, so you have the part, you have the part, you have the part. Thank you guys for coming. And everybody else was sitting right there, and we're like, oh my God! And they're like, damn, and it was like, yeah, like I thought they would have told us like by ourselves, but they told us in front of everyone, and the great thing is we actually all became really good friends, and they were very happy for us, and we all went out to dinner, and it was just a great experience. Like, they were genuinely happy that we got the part, And it was the craziest thing because they said, we need you to tell your parents to FedEx your clothes and you'll be working on Monday. And it was like Friday. We were like, what the hell? And that's how it happened.
To listen to the rest of the show, listen on demand anytime at unscriptedradio.com.